you have trouble defecating?
I don't need to defect. I don't need to defect. I'm a tourist. I have my visa. Maybe 6 months from now.
Constipated!
Yes, you're good.
You have hemorrhoids?
Oh, yes, 72. America, what a great country this is. I want to thank you, America, from the bottom of my heart. And I want to kiss your ground, America. Thank you.
You have just witnessed a scene from the new play The Russians Are Here, a brand new hilarious comedy written and performed by David Scott and Ilia Volok. This two-man show was originally produced in Los Angeles to critical acclaim. Ilia plays the role of the Russian farmer Ilia Pushkin, and David plays the 15 different characters Ilia meets during his American adventure. The Russians Are Here tells the story of Ilia Pushkin, who makes his way to America seeking the American dream. The LA Times says it's a silly madcap adventure of Slavic innocence lost in an American wonderland. Be there. Backstage West says it is a neatly performed love letter to the American way. The Tolucan Times says there was laughter echoing throughout the theater. And the NoHo News gushes it's hilarious. And now a little bit about the performers. Co-creator Ilia Volok arrived in America from Russia and quickly achieved the status of working actor in television and film. When Ilia arrived in America in 1990, he had $200 in his pocket and an acting degree from the Moscow Art Theater. This is a recent episode of Friends.
All right, let's get me back up there.
No, you don't go up on the wall.
What? But you saw the show.
Yes, it was very offensive to my people.
Dry cleaners?
Russians. It showed them as terrorists and villains.
Okay, look, you got Harrison Ford up there.
That's right. Mr. Ford is a very good customer. He brings us a lot of clothes. You bring us nothing.
Okay, well, that may be true. But in Air Force One, okay, the Russians were terrorists and evil. And plus, he kills a bunch of them. That's offensive to Russians.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should. It's great.
One of his career highlights was working with Harrison Ford. David Scott came to Los Angeles from New York City. He performed in regional theater companies primarily as a Shakespearean actor and is excited to be working on this special project. The LA Times says, when Scott switches weeks faster than you can say babushka and his dialect along with it, he brings back the pleasures of the best comedy skits on The Carol Burnett Show. Backstage West says his sweet young thing clutches at her handbag and primps incessantly. His old man shuffles his Russian operative menaces, and Mama will really miss her boy chick.
Give it up, dumpling.
We spoke with Ilia and David recently about the play.
So when we decided we just wanted to do something different, something interesting, we started improvising, working just sort of like skits, like you would probably sort of like improvisational skits. We come up with a topic and then develop it, and sort of like a Saturday Night Live, maybe, you know, to compare. And we were just performing it at the American Renegade Theater, and one of the members suggested that, you know, it looks pretty funny, but he said put it into a story.
It's the story about a Russian immigrant who comes to the United States and is seeking the American dream. So it's a fun story, and I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to. We've had a lot of Russian people obviously have seen it because it's called The Russians Are Here, but we've also had a lot of Americans. It makes them think a little bit about how they treat their own life in America. And I almost get the sense that sometimes people feel a little bit, Americans sometimes feel a little guilty about what they're seeing because they see themselves in some way taking what they have for granted. It's a really interesting story.